All right, Bobcat fans, we're here, opening drive. Head coach Josh Strickland. This segment sponsored by Roof Masters and your local Hawesville Sonic. Coach Strickland, we're here today with Mr. Walker. 2 wins in a row. Just briefly tell me, how's it feel?
Man, it's nice. Somebody asked me what the biggest difference was going to be from, this Friday after coming off a win versus having the streak we all have heard about. And the biggest difference that I thought going in, and I was actually right on the money, was when something bad happened the other night, it wasn't here we go again. It was just like, hey, we know how to respond and let's go do it.
Well, so we talked about this also. Mm-hmm. Act like you've been there. You guys acted like you've been there.
Yeah.
You made the mistakes. We got this.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I feel like.
Yeah, and for sure. And then, the whole team just being able to, I think for the first time, I was probably the most negative one on the sideline for a second whenever their guy was wide open. And everybody else just kind of said, we're good. We'll respond. So
that's got to feel good on the
sideline. Oh, yeah, that was, I'm as proud of that as I am anything. Just that's the hardest part of the game for a coach is that part of the game, the mental side of the game and how we approach the game. They can go out there and run a slant and a post and they can do all that. But the mental approach to the game is the hardest thing to coach that people don't understand, people don't see. So for those guys to be able to do that gives us a chance in every game.
Well, the kids also, and I'm sorry, the kids are watching what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're over there slanging your headset and like, well, woe was us.
Yeah.
They go right with you. So you have to be mentally sharp the whole time.
Yeah, and there is. And it's one of those deals where as the head coach, there's certain things and certain reactions. I'm not going to try to be something I'm not, First few games, those headsets probably win the airs a deal. Maybe it wasn't the players. It could have been a number of different things on why it happened. But I'm pretty animated. I'm pretty intense on both sides. The weird thing about the game the other night is, for me, I was pretty even keel all night. I think that game went by so fast. I was pretty even keel.
Well, you talk about, Coach, the mental side of things.
Yeah.
And forever and ever it was, how do we teach this group of men that have the ability and talent to win?
Yeah.
How do we teach them that hard work they're putting in is going to pay off? But now that you've won 2 in a row, how do you keep them from being complacent? Because right now you look at predictions, there's a lot of people saying we think Hawesville's going to win this one.
Yeah.
How do you keep them to find that even keel of, hey, now we've learned how to win, but now, we've still got to realize that we've got to work to get the next win?
I think it's all about how you approach your preparation in the week. Only worry about the next one. Only worry about the next game. You're always trying to go 1-0 each week. 10-game regular season, but it's a 1-0 mentality every week. But you also can't try to hide what's out there because they'll see right through it. They have Twitter. They have all of that. Okay, they have access to as much information as we do. So yesterday in our Tuesday meeting, every Tuesday before the varsity goes out, we have a character lesson. I talk to them. I'm up front with them, and I was like, all right, here's the deal. This is what you guys have in front of you. We can go from all of a sudden being the team that snapped a long losing streak, within the same year playing more than 10 games. And it's all right there in front of you. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to lie to them. I'm not going to try to hide it. I'm up front with them. If that's what you want to be, this is what we can do.
So speaking of more than 10 games, just me and my partner, we're excited about it up in the booth.
Mm-hmm.
Is it exciting? Talk about playoffs.
Yeah.
In Hawesville, did you ever dream your first year in you'd be talking about the playoffs?
I always expected that because my deal's always set the expectations that way. Now, I did not mention that word because I was not going to mention that word until we got a win. And so, I thought this team could do it. There was times where I was wondering if we were going to get over the hump mentally. Now that we have the talent to do it. Now it's about, like Marc said, we've got to be able to handle success just like we've handled adversity and take another step forward in doing that. And sometimes that can be more difficult. On the radio show last week, I said that our practices were pretty good. Well, I may not have been telling the whole truth. I didn't think we actually practiced well last week. I was nervous, but when the ball was kicked, we played hard. So,
going into this game against Nacogdoches, it's 2 teams fighting for a playoff spot. What does NAC have? Tell me a little bit about
I think
their
not
setup.
only the same colors you saw last week, I think they're going to look the same too. They're going to be big up front. They're going to be athletic on the back end at the skill positions, and the kind of the same thing. They'll get some 3-back stuff. They're going to try to control the clock just like Mount Pleasant did. The thing that we did against Mount Pleasant, we almost played their game against them last week. It was a game where, and y'all had asked me if the team slows it down, do you try to speed it up? It's like, no, you just try to play the game. And we were able to maximize our possessions better than they were. Last week, we did not self-inflict, and we gave ourselves a chance, and we took advantage of some of their mistakes, and that's how we won the ball game. Because, we didn't put a perfect game together or anything. We know there was mistakes on the field. They were able to get some rushing yards on us, but we just kind of kept on, and didn't make big mistakes, and there we go. We were there at the end.
You also won the turnover battle.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, we're 8-1 the last 2 weeks in turnovers. They've turned over 8 times, we turned over once.
You won the kicking game.
Yeah.
You win in the turnover battle.
Right.
The time of possession is you're starting to win that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's got to be key right there.
Oh, that is. I mean, if you can get points on offense and you can play even bend but don't break to good defense, get those turnovers, and your special teams does not beat you. Special teams never has to be just great, but it can't beat you. But ours here lately has been better than average. We've been pretty good. And so, from week 1, by far, special teams, defense, we've improved the most in those areas.
How have you seen, Coach, your players, how have you seen them respond when it comes to practices? Is there a little more energy when it comes to practice?
Well, this just so happened to be at the time the weather got cooler, so I don't know which one. I don't know if it's the weather or the winds, but I'll take both at the same time.
And I tell you, again, guys said it from the booth, last week, Mount Pleasant, they, for the first time, were the first team that we played that we just couldn't gash them rushing yardage-wise. Yeah. And you had some young men step up and helped Elijah, help Jace, catch footballs, make plays. It was bending on defense, but never really broke.
Yeah.
And the other team had untimely turnovers, and that's football. Yeah. And you won those. This game against NAC, just real quick, Coach, do you plan on that same formula?
Yeah, I think you do. I think it all starts with playing good defense, okay? Good scoring defense. What people see as good defense, I think good defense is when they don't get in the end zone. It was 17-0. We were playing really good defense because I don't care what it looked like out there. They ain't got points.
Right.
And, last week's game was a little different because, man, we hadn't played in the wind like that in a long time. So, offensively, it really does. Going into it, it kind of changes things a little bit. And, those were 2 teams that were going to try to get the run game established. We've been doing that, and, of course, they did that. And so, we had to take advantages of the wind when we could and maybe even throw it into the wind once. So,
hey, Coach, good luck.
Thanks, man.
Let's take this win home. Bobcats at home, we thank y'all for joining us again. Thank you to Roof Masters and our local Hallsville Sonic. We'll see y'all next time, guys.
Thank you.